Welcome to the Millionaire Maker Show. I am your host, Lindsay Anderson, and this week is week 4 of the 5-part mini series that we've been hosting here on the Millionaire Maker Show called the Scale with Social mini series. Now, you're on episode 4, and while you are going to pack a punch on this show, make sure after the show you start at episode 1. You head over to themillionairemakershow.com and listen to episode 1 because today's episode, drum roll please, is called Enroll Clients on Repeat with the Invite-Only Event Strategy. This is one of my favorite things to talk about because it is the most powerful marketing asset you will ever create. In my 20 years of digital marketing experience, this right here is what I wish I would have known 20 years ago when I started my journey. Before we hop into the episode, I want to make sure to wish a happy Thanksgiving to those who are listening that celebrate. I know for me, if you have been watching the news, right now, Portland, Oregon, where I live, is out for a major teacher strike. We are on week 3 over here with Thanksgiving taking us all the way through November with all 3 of my little cherubs being out of school. So I am very grateful to have them home, but Thanksgiving for us here started the day after Halloween when they announced the teacher strike, and my kids were very excited that they didn't have to go to bed early on Halloween. So it did end up working out pretty good for them. Big Thanksgiving for us. We are celebrating with family, and I wish health and happiness to you at this time of year. So thank you for listening to the Millionaire Maker Show. Now, for those of you who are struggling to grow your business, who are looking to set 2024 on fire and really take your business to the next level, and you're done taking all of the courses and you've done all of the investing. They tell me to invest, Lindsay. I invested in everyone from mindset all the way through all the courses. I've heard it when people book a millionaire blueprint session with me. I hear it all the time. And you've done all the investing, and I'm here to tell you why all of that investing isn't working. I know you're implementing, I know you're doing the work, but you're not seeing the results. You're an action taker, and you're still not seeing the results after countless investing. I've heard it. However, one thing you have to look for in a program, and my program stands out different than everyone else's because we not only give you strategies that you can execute, marketing and sales strategies that actually work, but we look at your business from a long-term view. How are you going to get where you're going? It's not, honestly, any of these strategies that you implement, they're going to take a certain level of on-ramp to test and understand. And you have to get good at it, and you have to make sure that your messaging, positioning, and niching for your product is correct and speaking to your client. And so if these programs and these coaches that you're learning from, they don't take into a long-term view that, yes, building $1 million business, it is a long-term strategy. And here is a strategy that not only I'm expecting you to go and execute, but you execute in an iterative way. You get feedback from your clients, and then you improve it, and then you get more feedback, and then you improve it. That's the only way to create a marketing and sales system that you can rely on for years to come. So stop with the strategies already and start taking a long-term approach to your business. 10 years ago, I was running a very successful digital marketing agency, and I was ready to take those skills and become a coach. So one of the first things I did, and I have ninja digital marketing skills. I can build landing pages and everything very, very quickly. I also know how to run Facebook ads on my own. So I dropped $5,000 on a course to teach me how to sell a tiny offer. I also really love information. So it was my idea of a really killer weekend to consume this course and create and implement a tiny offer in a weekend. That's what I call a good time. When Emily rolled in on Monday, I let her know what I had spent the weekend doing, showed her our tiny offer, including the landing pages and the emails and the Facebook ads, and I said, we're running this. The dream was that I would sell a tiny offer. I was looking for a higher quality audience that would pay me more. And so that's why I threw down the $5,000. I consume the course, build this tiny offer. We spent over $100,000 in Facebook ads. Now, over the course of that time, some days we'd make $100. Some days we'd lose $100. Some days we would break even. But overall, that project broke even. What the dream was I was looking for a higher quality audience, and I knew that buyers are listeners. And so I felt that if it was an easier sell to get them to a $37 product, if I could sell them into a $37 product, then it would be easy enough to sell them into something much more expensive. We ended up breaking even money-wise, but the real outcome was one more iteration to my business, which was we needed a longer term client journey plan. Not only did I need to enroll people and create a paid lead magnet, but I better make sure that once they came in on that lead magnet, that we led them very, very quickly soon thereafter to something higher ticket, something with more transformation, so that I could actually start generating real revenue in my business. And that's the problem with courses. And that is really where the Millionaire Maker Funnel and the unlaunch method come into play. The Millionaire Maker Funnel is how you productize, making sure that your products talk to your clients and that you're making money and that you're gathering marketing information and sales information and your sales skills from your clients and your interactions, and you're improving on that side of the business, and you're making money, which is super important because you're a business. And so you need both. You need to know how to productize, which is the Millionaire Maker Funnel, and you need to know how to fill that funnel with a high quality audience of buyers. And if you start with freebies, most of you will start attracting freebie seekers, and that'll kill you. That is just not a good idea to attract freebie seekers, because then you train them that your information is not worth having, that your information is not worth paying for. Most of the time, people who create freebies because you don't understand your client create a freebie that attracts tire kickers. And then all of a sudden you have an audience of tire kickers and you're going to try to make money, and it's just not going to work. And so the only freebie, in my opinion, that you should be offering right now is an invite-only event. And that is today's freaking strategy. So, by the way, if you are looking to have an entire blueprint made for your online business, where you're missing the product, where you're missing the marketing and sales and systems, I do offer a Millionaire Blueprint session for some individuals. If you are a good fit for that session, all you need to do is head over to lindsayaa.com/coaching, fill out an application. We will get back to you on if we can get you in for a Millionaire Blueprint session. Now, these Millionaire Blueprint sessions are filling fast. It's a powerful session because I walk you through a checklist where I understand your gaps to see if I can help you. Now, in the process of me understanding your gaps to see if I can help you, you also get clarity on where your gaps are. Because here's the facts. You need about 5 things in order to scale this business. You think it's one thing and you keep picking that up over and over. So you think your weakness is mindset. So you continually go and consume mindset courses and say, if I could just overcome this mindset thing, then I will be on my way. But that's not the case. Okay, chances are you already got enough of you take one course on mindset, chances are you're set. Okay, it's time to get to work. Or you think you're a really crappy copywriter, and like for some reason you think copywriting is the reason why you're not getting clients. So you're hyper focused on that, and you take all the courses about copywriting and you still think it's a copywriting problem, but it's not. Okay, it's not. You're probably good on copywriting, but you don't understand these 5 things that you really have to understand in order to scale this business. That's what I do on the Millionaire Blueprint session. We go over this. You leave understanding your gaps. I understand your gaps to see if I can even help you. In order to start that process, you need to go to lindsayaa.com/coaching. Okay? Do that. And then let's see if you're a good fit for the Millionaire Blueprint session. So let's start talking about the invite-only event. The invite-only event, my favorite conversion event. First of all, let's start off. Who is it for? The invite-only event is for everyone. Yep, that's right. I said it right here, right now. The invite-only event is for everyone. Let me share how that is possible. If you are already having 6- and 7-figure launches, the invite-only event is for you because it helps you get more conversions from your active audience from your launches, because you come off of your launch, you host an invite-only event, to catapult off all of the marketing you already did for your launches. So you can end up closing almost double of what your launch was just by hosting invite-only events in between. This is a rinse and repeat thing. You don't have to come up with something new. It's a powerful way of using the momentum that was created by the launch and closing even more people with way less effort. If you are on the other side of the spectrum and you are just getting started, invite-only events are for you because you don't have to worry about building a huge audience of 300 people that you actually do a launch for. Instead, the invite-only event will let you start right now because the whole premise of an invite-only event is that it works on intimacy. So let me set this up for you. This is what an invite-only event looks like. It is a masterclass that you give over the course of 54 minutes. 54 minutes because once the clock ticks over, just like Cinderella at midnight, okay? Once the clock ticks over to the 55-minute mark, people are looking at their next appointment, preparing for that, and they're not listening to you. And the last part of the invite-only event is the most important part, so we need them to be listening. Now, I've perfected this strategy over the past 20 years, which is why I know because we've iterated and iterated and iterated and iterated. That's why I know 54 minutes. Yep, that is definitely how we are getting the best results. Next, there's no marketing. That's why it's good for people who are just starting. No landing pages, nothing. All you need is Add Event. That's a piece of software that will allow people to RSVP, and all the marketing that is involved is a title. Now, the title has to be sizzling hot. Make sure that title speaks to your target audience and leaves them feeling like, how did Lindsay know that is truly how I felt about my problem? How is Lindsay reading my mind? Now, there is a formula for setting up that title. Those are the kind of things that we cover in the Content That Converts program. This title has to be sizzling hot. Then, this is where the psychological triggers come into play, as well as getting them to understand your value, as well as them being able to get out of their own way and think differently about their problem, as well as preventing you from doing one of the most massive mistakes that you make, which is overteaching. You give people too much on these masterclasses and webinars, they are left wondering why they should pay you because they have 6 months of work. Well, the invite-only strategy prevents you from doing that. I know you're doing that. So here it is. First of all, you're going to sit down, you're going to write out the following, okay? You're going to write down the three. This is not the order. This is just what you're going to write down. This is how we're going to get to the order, okay? This is how the psychological triggers are executed. Number 1, you're going to write down 3 of your biggest problems, 3 of the biggest problems that your one true client faces. You're going to write those down, and you're going to list them in order of severity, leaving the most severe problem for the end. Then you are going to write down why this is a problem. So go back to problem 1, 2, 3, and underneath that, write, why is this a problem? It's a problem because you're losing money. It's a problem because you will never get to where you're going if you keep doing it this way. It is a problem because you're wasting your health. It's a problem because your marriage will never work. It's a problem because you will never lean into, you will never become the leader that you actually want to become unless you do this. So you write down, this is a problem because. And then the final thing you write down for the 3 problems is 1 tip. 1 and only 1. No, I did not say 2 or 3. I said 1 and only 1 tip that will actually give them some sort of aha moment or real tip that they can use and that they can sink their teeth into as they leave your masterclass, leaving them feeling like you gave them a ton of value in this masterclass. This is called a win-win invite-only event strategy. Everybody wins. You don't overteach and lower your value, and they leave with aha moments. So then when you go to give the masterclass, you head up the masterclass with a mindset that looks like this. Hey, your problem, you're thinking about it wrong. You got to shake things up for them in that first part. Then you say, you have this problem. Problem number 1, you have problem number 1. Problem number 1 is a problem because here's 1 tip for solving problem 1. Then you say, you have problem 2. This is problem 2 because here's 1 tip for solving problem 2. And then problem 3, the most severe problem of all. You say, you have problem 3. Problem 3 is a problem for you because here is 1 tip for solving problem 3. which I can really only solve a little bit on this masterclass. If you really want to dig into problem 3 and get to the bottom of it, make sure you sign up for my XYZ session. You're going to name this thing as a blueprint and a strategy session that they cannot miss. You're going to productize this thing, meaning you're going to add value to this thing. The way you present this thing, the way you ask the questions on this thing, the process in which you guide your client through this thing is worth its weight in gold. And you're going to sell it. The last 7 minutes of your IO event, you're going to spend talking about your blueprint session, why they want to come to this call, and what kind of value they're going to get on the other side. And you're going to sell this thing for 7 minutes. I did not say you're going to sell your programs. I did not say you're going to sell your coaching. I said you're going to sell your expertise, and that these guys who really feel what you were talking about today will get on a call with you. Here is a gift. And spoiler alert, if you think that when I said that it is a gift to spend time on a call with you, and there is a part of you that thinks this is a bait and switch, it's not a gift to get on a call with me, okay? I don't like sleazy sales techniques. You're wrong. A lot of people feel that way, and my advice is your time, 45 minutes with you on a call, especially if you take this call seriously and you outline a series of questions and you follow my calls to clients sales script, how to do that, they will leave with value on that call. And so you can sell it. You sell it. It is a gift, but that's how you sell it. That is the real, that's the thing for this invite-only event. Now, the invite-only event works on intimacy. So you really only want to invite 20 people. Expect to get 10 people there. It beats launch rates out of the water because on a launch, typically you look at about a 10% show-up rate. On an invite-only event, you're looking at a 50% show-up rate, and that is because we need to create intimacy here. So 20 people invited, 10 people show up, 5 to 8 calls, and based on how sharpened your sales skills are, you will convert a percentage of that. I love it because I can give this thing in my sleep now. I don't have to spend mental time that is better used in other places in my business recreating a masterclass or a webinar. It's a tool and I use it and I can get clients anytime I want. We schedule this out for every week that I am not speaking, that I am not working on other places in my business, or I'm not taking time off. We have it on all the available weeks during the year and especially after a launch. Because of the momentum generated with a launch, this allows us to really utilize that launch momentum and make even more sales based on that. So there you have it. There is the invite-only event strategy for you. I do not gatekeep this stuff. Stop with the marketing strategies. Just develop an invite-only event and you use it for the rest of your business life. It becomes an asset, a real marketing asset that you give on, rinse, and repeat. Now, this is episode 4 of the Scale with Social mini-series right here on the Millionaire Maker podcast. Head over to themillionairemakershow.com to start with episode 1, where I lead you through my entire strategy on exactly how to scale your online business. Really understanding how to productize, really understanding how to drive your marketing to sell your products. These two link together with a social media system to actually feed it with high quality audience is what you need in order to scale your business online. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Please go and leave us a review. I appreciate the reviews. I love to hear your feedback and that you find value in this show. It really is my goal to make it as simple as possible for you to scale your online business. So your reviews are very important. Make sure you tune in next week for episode 5 of the Scale with Social Media mini-series. Cheers to you and your success.